Welcome to Fitness Forever TV with M&B,
Your source for entertainment television.
where we explore all things health and wellness to help you achieve longevity and vitality.
Excellent. Well, we are going to continue our series on CBD and unique products.
Yes, this week we'll be talking with my friend Spencer Beaudreault, very fancy last name, and he's the founder of Hero Complex, which combines CBD with pre-workout and recovery.
Love it. So now we have CBD that helps out with fitness. Gotta love it. Let's check that out.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, so welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, can you tell us a little bit about you starting with and then how you started Hero Complex?
So first off, my name's Spencer. I am originally from Connecticut. I was born and raised in Connecticut. I lived in Connecticut until I was about 20. And then, roughly 8.5 years ago, I moved down to Tampa. I played Division I football at Sacred Heart University up in Connecticut. I blew out my knee, had a terrible knee injury, kind of fizzled out of school, went through some hard times. And then I moved down to Tampa and I finished out my degree in criminology. Got my degree in criminology and still wanted to give the football thing a go, even though I was kind of working on a bum knee that anytime I would cut, it would swell up. So it was like the hardest thing to deal with. So I ended up actually getting a small little contract to play over in France. And I was able to experience living in a different country, playing American football in France where they don't really care about football. And, that was a really good experience. And then, from there, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I came back to the States and I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to get into personal training, into sports performance training and do that. And I kind of went the entrepreneurial route, met the right people, did the right things, grew my training business. Cannabis has always been a part of my life ever since I was, 18. And I never really used it therapeutically until probably like the last 2 or 3 years. And kind of in light of like the big, green rush is what they call it, with CBD and cannabis and all that. Yeah, I met the right people. I started experimenting with cannabis and CBD on the more therapeutic side of things rather than just recreational, and found that it helped me so much in so many different ways: stress, anxiety, sleep, depression, just aches and pains. Like my body goes through it just, working out and being, a fitness professional, and just from like years of football and putting my body through the ringer. So I just found such a crazy passion for, cannabis and CBD. And I was just driven to blend that with the fitness and sports communities and make it more of a thing. Because when I was growing up, that stoner stigma was heavy. Everybody was so, against it. It's the devil's lettuce, and they put you down for using it. Even if it helps you in so many good ways, you still feel like kind of a villain because, you're using it. So, now that's kind of fizzling out. I'm excited, to where my business could potentially go, and that's pretty much it.
So that's an amazing background story in regards to your personal experiences and what led you down this path. Now, your company, Hero Complex, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hero Complex. You have 3 product lines from what I understand looking at your information.
Yes.
And the one is a CBD full spectrum, which I totally get, for general use, anxiety, pain, helping you rest, things like that. Now, the 2 other products I find really interesting coming from a fitness background and profession as well. Now, CBD, I can relate with the use of anti-anxiety, stress reduction. So how does that translate for a pre-workout? I see that one of those product lines is a pre-workout vape.
Yes. So it's a pre-work. I ended up developing the first CBD pre-workout vape on the entire market.
Wow.
So yeah, I kind of just let my creative juices flow, and this idea came about. I was doing my research on CBD and the different delivery methods, and I found out, just through my research and through talking to the right people, that one of the quickest way, if not the quickest way into the bloodstream, is inhalation, right? So and I'm a big sativa guy because I want to be, up, active, ready to go. I don't really want to smoke an indica and be on the couch all day because, I want to blend it with the fitness community. I'm active. I'm a go-getter. I'm an entrepreneur. I want to get things done. So I guess that whole thought process came from wanting to use CBD and use cannabis, but being more productive. So how could I create more of an energy strain? And what I did was I just started with CBD, and I took full spectrum CBD. I took caffeine. I took peppermint essential oil. I took tangerine essential oil, and I took terpenes, which are pretty much like essential oils. They're just a natural proponent of the cannabis plant. And I blended that all together. I met the right lab that could do it for me. And that's pretty much how I came about the pre-workout vape. It's nothing like your normal pre-workout where you get all jittery and, it's intense rush of energy. I relate this to more like, a cup or 2 cups of coffee, where it's a nice clean pick-me-up. And then anybody that kind of suffers from that jitteriness from the caffeine, the CBD will help offset that as far as like anxiety. I know when I get too much caffeine, I get kind of like jacked up. So
yeah, that was actually, we had a discussion right before this where we're like, okay, well, sativa brings you up, indica brings you down. How does this going to work? So that was a great answer to that question, where
Thank you.
caffeine and the CBD it kind of melds in together, gives you the nice alertness and push without
the jitter.
Yeah.
Yep. And mental clarity and all of that. Yeah.
No, I think that does make sense when it's framed that way, for sure.
Curiosity, or I should say my curiosity is coming. How fast do you start to feel it if you do vape?
So I have been kind of all over the place. We're in crazy times right now, and I just kind of took a couple hits of my vape pen at the house before I came here, and it hits me within like 10 seconds.
Wow.
It's straight directly into the bloodstream.
Whoa.
Now, as far as like the energy goes, that might take a little bit longer. I always tell people, give it like 5 to 10 minutes. Me personally, I fluctuate anywhere from like 205 pounds to 220. With me, I like to take 5 to 8 like good pulls, before I'm, going to do something, going to work out or anything like that. So that's kind of what I recommend for people. Like right around like 5, but it's everybody's different. Sometimes it depends on what you ate that day. There could be many different factors that, play into it. So my best advice for people is just to kind of experiment. Just don't go overboard and just chain smoke this thing all day, but do your due diligence and try it out, experiment.
Yeah, just like with any kind of medication or supplement, you don't want to overdo it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And now you also have, besides the full spectrum CBD and the pre-workout vape, you also have a muscle roll-on. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how CBD is effective in that post-workout muscle soreness?
Yeah. So, in our bodies, they actually found that we have, just like we have a respiratory system and just like we have a lymphatic system and, all that, we actually have an endocannabinoid system. So when we ingest CBD, the CBD reacts with those certain receptors, and it kind of works in your body however it's going to work. So now with our muscle roll-on, the typical, muscle roll-on and the I guess like lotions or like, topicals that you would put on containing CBD, they usually don't have DMSO. It's dimethyl sulfoxide. And DMSO is like an old school pro athlete and bodybuilding secret. They actually use it on horses too for pain and inflammation, because its biggest trait is that it's super effective at penetrating the skin, and getting into your bloodstream. So in this case, the CBD latches onto the DMSO and helps penetrate the skin that much more effectively, acting as a more efficient, muscle roll-on CBD product.
Oh, great. I'll have to try it when.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So where is your product found? How can someone go get themselves some CBD Hero Complex products?
So my business is primarily e-commerce right now. So they can get it online at www.herocomplexcbd.com. There are, a bunch of different little locations around the Tampa Bay area, primarily in South Tampa, where you could purchase the product. I know I have like 10 of the muscle roll-on and the vapes at Tampa Sports Academy right up front. And then just like a few different like health shops around, but primarily online.
Awesome.
Excellent. So quickly, just can you bring us through a day in the life of Spencer Beaudreault and how you incorporate those? You told us about your pre-workout and how that happens, but I'm curious to know about the full spectrum and then the muscle roll-on and how you utilize it in your day.
Okay, yeah. So typically in the morning, I'm a coffee guy, so I like to drink coffee. But if I don't opt for coffee that morning, I will wake up and I'll hit my vape a couple times. It helps me just like boom, get up, get more alert, get more focused. I'm able to think a little bit clearer. So if we're not talking coffee, I start my day like that. Using the muscle roll on, I will just after I'm working out, sometimes I tweak my lower back. I have some herniated discs in my lower back. I'll get a bunch of built up inflammation in my knee from my ACL surgeries, and it's just constantly bugging me. So I'll use the muscle roll on throughout the day.
Wow.
The one big thing with that is that you have to make sure that you have a clean surface. So I couldn't just pull this thing out and just use it while I'm at Tampa Sports Academy training because I need to have a clean surface. So it's typically after a shower. It's that effective at penetrating the skin, so you don't want any like dirt or any like sweat or gunk to get in your in your body. So that's when I'll use the muscle roll on. And then with the soft gels, I like to use the soft gels for sleep. I mean, the soft gels, I market them as just overall wellness, but me personally, like that's how I use it. I'll use for mental clarity and anxiety and energy, I'll use the vape, in the morning or midday for workout. Pain and inflammation, I'll use my muscle roll on. And then for sleep, it's overall wellness, but for sleep, I use the soft gels at night.
Oh, wow.
Excellent.
That's actually very helpful. Very helpful.
That was helpful. So, well, thank you so much. So again, you said it was www.herocomplexcbd.com?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to link that in the description for you.
Appreciate that.
And can you just spell your first and last name for us?
Spencer, Spencer, and then last name's a long one, Beaudreault, Beaudreault.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad we asked.
And do you also, is something besides, you also have your own fitness company too as well, correct? Yeah,
so I run my personal training company, Suspense Fitness, and what I'm looking to do in the near future is just blend the two businesses. I mean, I kind of already have, but, I want to make it more of a thing, but, I got to take it step by step.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, we could link to both businesses, or if you prefer one over the other.
Yeah, either or. I mean, Suspense Fitness, on IG, and then Hero Complex. So
okay,
either
sounds good. Well, are you about to go work out now?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get my workout in the sun.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, Spencer.
Yeah, really for sure. Thank you for having me.
And I look forward to seeing you soon back at our training ground.
Yeah, likewise.
All right. Stay safe
Thank
out there.
you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you too. Bye.